I am with you. I will fight for you, and I will win for you.
You're listening to Trump Mafia, 100% Trump America first. And now here's TM.
Hey, it's me, and welcome to this video. Now, I want to talk about this shooter. This kid, a couple of years ago, joined the shooting club, and he was comically bad at shooting. He missed even easy targets, and he was rejected from the club. But 2 years later, he's suddenly a marksman, pulling off some amazing shots. And it was only a twist of fate or divine intervention that President Trump just swiveled his head to the right to look at the Jumbotron that saved his life. But how do you become a marksman after 2 years? Who trained him? You know, when you look at the JFK thing, Lee Harvey Oswald was also not a great shot, but then suddenly he was a marksman, and he was trained by the CIA and Cubans. And you're starting to see some similarities, right? Because this kid also knew that rooftop was unguarded, that there was a ladder nearby. He knew where to go, when to go, and that he had time to unpack and set up and pull off those shots. How did he know? And why is it that he's suddenly dead and he can't reveal anything, that he's now being painted as some goofball, some random kid that didn't know what the hell he was doing? Well, it doesn't really seem like this whole thing was a one-man operation, some little kid who is suddenly some kind of a tactical genius. No, he wasn't. But what we're talking about here is another shooter that is an ideal patsy, and he was quickly killed after he already shot several people and shot President Trump. Then he was taken out. Why did they wait for him to take the shots? Well, so many people are wondering about the details, but there's one conspiracy theory out there, and that is that this was just a guy that acted alone. Now, the FBI is already in cover-up mode. They claimed in a statement just today that this gunman was acting alone. But then they also said they couldn't break into his phone yet. So how do they know that he acted alone? And again, you know, it doesn't add up. Nothing adds up. Just like nothing added up about the JFK assassination, where Oswald also had a clear shot in an ideal location, and that location wasn't secured by Secret Service at all, which is very telling. You know, when Ronald Reagan was shot only like a month after being inaugurated, which would have made H.W. Bush president, the CIA director who ran against Reagan in the primaries became VP. And then 1 month after Reagan was inaugurated, he gets shot. Well, a bullet entered his body and punctured a lung and broke a rib, but he survived. So H.W. Bush did not become president. But it's very telling how a CIA director gets so lucky almost. And again, you have the FBI knowing Hinckley was out there stalking not only Ronald Reagan, but before that, Jimmy Carter. And he was on the radar. But they lost track of him. And then when they saw him again, they knew that he was preparing something. But they didn't act on it. And guess what? They did not inform the Reagan people. And they did not inform Secret Service. Now, why would the FBI not inform the Secret Service about it? And a couple of months later, he shot Ronald Reagan. Again, you see similarities here where a lot of red flags were missed, a lot of catastrophic failures by the Secret Service, run by some woman that used to work at Pepsi, completely not qualified for the job. And the Secret Service falling under DHS run by Mallorcas, who doesn't care about our country, opened the border to millions of foreigners. Well, they're kind of dropping the ball, right? They have all kinds of explanations, but it seems like a lot of top Secret Service agents were pulled away from the rally to protect Jill Biden and Kamala Harris, and that some replacements were sent in, local police, and also subpar new Secret Service agents. I guess those obese women that were hiding and shaking and bungling. You saw the video, right? These women that were Secret Service agents were more worried about their own lives, and they had no idea what to do at all. Now, this is the kind of security that was provided to President Trump. Now, Biden rejected any Secret Service protection for RFK Jr., and you can imagine Biden and Mayorkas decided to give President Trump subpar protection. And then you had that Judge Merchan, who surprisingly postponed the jailing of President Trump until after the GOP convention. And I was thinking, okay, if he's in jail and assassinated, everybody knows he was assassinated. And if he's free, though, then somebody can shoot him, right? So did Judge Merchan get approached by someone to inform the judge that President Trump should be out there for some reason? What about DeSantis and Nikki Haley like vultures waiting? Paul Ryan waiting, so sure that Trump was not going to be the GOP nominee. He even said it a couple of weeks ago. Why would he be so sure? Now, this assassination attempt was just before the GOP convention. So if President Trump passed away, as would have happened if it weren't for that swivel of the head, it would have been a headshot. He would have been dead. Then Nikki Haley and DeSantis suddenly become the top contenders to be president and VP for the campaign. And so they were waiting around. You know, DeSantis kept on trying to stay in the media, get the attention. He was obviously waiting for something, like I said, like a vulture. And so a lot of people seem to be waiting for something. And the mainstream media and Biden and Obama, they all came out with statements that seemed to be kind of prepared, but modified in some way. You know, the way the paragraphs went, it was kind of awkward. It's almost like they had a speech prepared about the death of President Trump, the assassination of President Trump, and then in the last minute they had to change it to something else. Suddenly they were like, well, the motive is unknown. We don't know what the hell happened. And you saw the media talking about loud noises, popping noises, and Trump fell. And all of them were trying to downplay whatever happened. And that is because they didn't want the nation to react. It's almost like they wanted Trump gone, the snap of a finger, or the firing of some bullets, and then to move on, right, without Trump, that he would just be gone. Well, that didn't happen. Instead, you have an iconic photo. You have President Trump being stronger than ever. You have several key people now endorsing President Trump. He's accepting the nomination. J.D. Vance will be the running mate. And it's all systems go. What can I tell you? MAGA 2024. It's happening. President Trump will be President 47. And so I will leave you with a final thought about the shooter. What if this shooter was also the pipe bomb guy? You know, the pipe bomb guy that dropped off dummy bombs on January the 5th, found on January the 6th, the next day, right? And this shooter at the Trump rally, he had bombs in his car, explosive devices. Well, we don't know if these were also dummy bombs. But just imagine you have a misfit kid. He can't do anything right. He can't get laid. He doesn't have any friends. He's a nerd. And he's approached. Suddenly he can be Ethan Hunt or Jason Bourne and do these top missions and be a somebody. where he's suddenly in a hoodie dropping off dummy bombs. He's part of a major operation, and it's kind of like Antifa, but times 1,000,000. I mean, he's really the key person. And finally, there's some meaning to his life. And the same kid then later goes to a Trump rally. Again, maybe dummy bombs in his car. And he had a rifle, and he knew where to go. It's almost like somebody showed him exactly how to get there, what to do, where to go. And somebody trained him to become a marksman in 2 years. And maybe, yeah, he really did want to become immortal, and that his life finally had some meaning, even if it would end. At least he did something worthwhile, and people would know his name, something like that. But if somebody out there says that this kid just acted alone, he did all that by himself, I'm like, give me a break. Okay, we're not stupid.